All right, this is gonna reach. Yes. Today we're doing a review of the Revopoint POP 3D scanner. No, this isn't sponsored. This is spent with my own cash money. This is a great tool to have when it comes to working with 3D files, making my own resin art pieces. You know, I could scan Charlie for a piece, you know? This Revopoint POP is one of the smallest 3D scanners on the market. Okay, that isn't like 40 grand. One thing you guys should know is that 3D scanners, they can go anywhere from like $7,000 to like $80,000. It's insane. I figured there's gotta be something out there that is more affordable that could also do the job of a 3D scanner. And I mean, like, this is what popped up, Revopoint POP. It costs just over $700. I know it's still pricey, but today I'm gonna put it to the test to see if it actually is worth the money or if it's not. Enjoy. Here's a review of the Revopoint POP 3D scanner. So this is the box that the Revopoint POP 3D scanner comes in. It comes with the manuals that nobody reads, some marker stickers, a black backdrop, and some sticky tack, obviously the POP scanner box, and they even provided a figurine that they use in the tutorials so you could actually learn this product in the easiest way. Inside the POP scanner box comes with more manuals, a tripod that actually raises up and down, two cables. One of them is a USB 3.0 cable and one of them is a USB-C in case you are doing this on a Mac. And of course, the POP 3D scanner. This thing is actually pretty small, smaller than I thought it was gonna be, really light, and it only has one port on the back. There's no buttons or nothing. And then this is the front of the scanner. First up, I screwed the tripod onto the scanner and then set that up. The tripod actually has a ball mount on the top so it could actually tilt up and down. Next, I took out one of the cables. Now, since I'm using a Mac, I used a USB-C cable for this. I later realized that these cables don't actually do anything other than power the device. In order to connect this device to your computer, you need to set up a personal hotspot on your iPhone and then connect that to your computer. It's a very beta process that I think they need to work on. Next, I went to the Revopoint website and I downloaded HandyScan. It is the software that actually communicates with the Revopoint POP.
So I've got the camera set up here. All this cable is doing is giving it power. It actually isn't connecting to the computer. It's all going through this phone, which is a huge pain in the ass, but that's okay. Came with this like garbage bag like thing that I set up in the background. So it is a little bit slow. Like it's a little bit choppy on the computer, but it is getting the scan. It's gotten everything except the top of his head.
Once it did a few full rotations, I then did a handheld scan to get the top of the statue's head, and then let it spin a little bit more to get that.
Okay, so it's not the smoothest. You can see it's pretty rough. It got the scan, but this is like all the details pretty much gone. So I'm gonna try this again in a little bit more ideal setting. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. For a Mac user, this is not usable. I'm gonna set all this back up again with the gaming PC. We'll see if the experience is any better. If not, I am returning this because this was $700 and so far it's been garbage, so. Let's do that. Okay, so I've changed the entire setup. I've got my PC down there. I'm gonna set the 3D scanner here. We're just downloading the software now. We'll see if it's any better. I'm hoping it is because it was total garbage on the Mac. We have life. She's connected. It's actually operating much smoother than the Mac. I will say that.
A huge difference on the PC. It just felt like the software wasn't quite developed for Macs yet because the amount of processing power and work that I do on my MacBook Pro should have been able to handle this.
Okay, now let's pause. Oh, this software sucks. Okay, so we gotta start again. We have to start again. That's what I'm talking about. This app crashes an insane amount. So everything we just did is gone. We gotta restart again. So the green is it processing. The blue is it's already processed.
At this point, my biggest takeaway is that the software needs a lot of work.
Wow, the detail's decent. Okay, yeah, way better. That is pretty good, guys. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty decent. I mean, it's a little bumpy. You're losing like a little bit of detail on the face. So in this face, you got like the eyelids and stuff. This one doesn't really have that. And like the hair, the texture of the hair, I mean, it's there, but it's just not as like clear. Wow, that is good. That's good. This doesn't really surprise me because this comes with it. Obviously, the company is going to send something that looks the best, right? Like, they're not going to send you a piece that sort of looks terrible when it scans. So I'm going to take this as best case scenario.
I then played around with some other scans. Like, I tried my arm with a handheld scan. It's pretty difficult to do on your own, but it's doable. And then I went into face scan mode, which gets a lot more detail than any other mode, and I tried that as well.
All right, let's see this. This is my face. So this is my face. Not bad for a hand scan. I did it myself. Sort of gets beard hair because it's short. It doesn't get any hair in your head.
Now it's time for the real test. I wanted to get a full head scan, so I used my friend Amar for this. And since he has really dark hair, the scanner was going to be challenged for this.
All right, so the issue that we got right now is it's not getting Amar's beard. Because it's a black beard, it doesn't get his hair It doesn't get his beard. You can see it got a little bit of the beard, a little bit of the mustache. His eyebrows are fine. But where it's like thick beard, because it's black hair, it doesn't get it. So there's apparently a technique where you use baby powder and you just put it in the beard to lighten it up so it actually has something to bounce off.
Thankfully, Amar was a good sport about this, and we put in some baby powder into his dark beard hair. And we tried another full head scan to see if this would make any difference at all or if this was just a myth.
All right, so it is true. The baby powder trick actually works a lot better. This is before it's rendered out, but you can see we actually got his chin here. You got all his beard. Okay, this is it rendered out. Way better for beard. Look at that. It actually gave him a beard, which is good. It kept his chin. That actually looks like you, man. There's his head, right? And there he is there. That's unreal. So the only thing we're missing now is we have a full head scan except for the top of his head because he's got black hair, which he's offered to put baby powder in his hair. You just have to sprinkle it on top, to be honest. It just has to be a white coating, right?
For round 2, I got Amar to put more baby powder into the hair on the top of his head, hoping this would have the same effect that it did on his beard. The reason why this trick works is because the 3D scanner does not pick up anything that's really dark. So basically we need Amar's dark hair to be lightened to like a gray or even a white.
So we've now lightened up his dark hair with baby powder. This should all be recognizable because now it's got a brighter color. Basically with 3D scanning, any black hair will be sort of like a green screen, so it wouldn't pick up his mustache before, but this is good.
And this is the final test. If it's any more complicated than this, then this device needs a little bit more work. We've already inconvenienced Amar enough with putting baby powder in all of his hair.
Baby powder is absolutely a very, very effective trick when it comes to using the face scan. You can see it got all his hair, got all the detail, got the swirl in his hair here. Okay, and here it is fully rendered out. Oh, it cleaned up the head, yes. Ooh! Oh, it cleaned the back of the neck too. Oh my God. This scanner under $1,000 was able to do this detailed of a scan. I can now 3D print this almost exactly like that, and that would be, look at his hair. Look at the detail in the hair.
Next, it was time to see if this would actually go from a 3D scan to a decent 3D print. So I loaded up my 3D printer with some gray UV resin so we could actually see the detail. Now this print took 5.5 hours, and this is a time lapse that you're seeing over that time frame. 5.5 hours later, it looks to be a successful print. Next, it's time to get rid of the supports and remove it from the build plate. Now already I could see so much detail in this 3D print, which is very promising. We have to get rid of any uncured resin using isopropyl alcohol, and even more detail is gonna come up. Soaked it for 4 minutes in isopropyl alcohol and then dried it off. And I am incredibly mind blown by the results of this 3D scan. And the fact that a device under $1,000 was able to get this much detail is incredible. The baby powder trick worked amazing, and it was able to pick up all the different hair lengths on Amar's head. You can even see on the side where the fade of his haircut is. It got his ears amazing, it got his beard hair, his nose, his eyes, everything. I would honestly say this is a 10 out of a 10 scan. Now I have to admit, the start of this review, I was really not liking the product, mainly because it's good hardware, but it's got very beta software.
This is insane. This is literally the most detailed print. Man, I'm so impressed. This printer is under $1,000, and it's like, it's totally got him. Like, this is kind of weird, eh? It's Amar holding Amar. Do you know what it was? It's the baby powder, which got like the hair, the detail of the hair.
This is crazy. The fade, it got
the fade, yeah.
The fade?
And it got like your neck lines. You know, like,
yes, sir.
Where, you know, where your neck bends?
The good news is I was able to get an incredible, very satisfactory scan using this product. Bad news is that it was kind of a headache to get that. The app crashed multiple times on both the Mac and the PC version. Again, the great news is that now that I've got Amar's 3D head scan, I could pop this on anything. I went into a 3D design program, I removed the shirt and just kept his neck and head, and I was able to pop that onto a guy that had a ton of muscles. And then just for fun, I also popped it on to a girl playing guitar. Final verdict. I love the hardware, I hate the software. Unfortunately, when you have good hardware and bad software, software is gonna trump that, and it's just gonna be a bad product. I'm not saying this is a bad product, but I am saying it's still pretty beta. I spent hours trying to scan with a hat on, even using additional programs. It was having so many issues with doing a head scan with a hat on for whatever reason. I don't know. The app is so bad, especially on MacBooks, to the point that it's almost not even usable on a MacBook Pro. So the software definitely needs a severe upgrade. I was able to get it to work on the PC, so it's not like it's completely useless. Like, I got it to work. So that right there is my honest opinion on the cons of this device. It needs some heavy work with the software, but the hardware is pretty decent. Now let's talk about the pros. $700, you get a 3D scanner in a market where honestly they start at like 7,000. So there's a pretty big difference. And with such a big price difference, you can sort of expect there to be issues. Secondly, the product does work, and when it does work, it works amazing. It takes multiple scans to get a good scan, but once you do, the detail is absolutely up there with some of these thousands of dollar ones. The head scan of Amar is incredibly detailed. In fact, I don't even know what I would change about that, because it is, in my opinion, a perfect scan. So the possibility is there to get amazing scans with this thing. I know I talk poorly about the software because it is weak. However, it is very user-friendly. It may not be reliable, but it's pretty straightforward. You hit scan, you select what you want to scan, color, no color, whatever textures, and then you go. I do have to mention that you can bring it on the go. It can be operated off of a phone. Take that as you will, because I haven't had much luck with that actually being a success. I've got a few scans. Again, the app on the phone is, it crashes 10 times worse than the computer. All in all, do I like it? Yes. Am I going to keep it? Yes. But I seriously hope they got software updates coming, because the hardware is pretty nailed down. It's the software that is really affecting the user experience. Anyways, I'm going to have some fun with it. I'm going to continue trying to learn and figure out how I could best use this piece of equipment. It just allows me to not have to use third-party companies, and I can do it all in-house, which is something that I would like to do, so I'm not relying on other people or products, you know? There you guys have it. That is a Revopoint POP 3D scanner review. Thank you so much for watching. Please, guys, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really helps the video. It helps me. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See you guys later.